Well, Danny Hurley and his staff are doing a great job with that team. That's a good basketball team and a very hard out, as you can see. They haven't played a game in league that has been decided by more than 8 points, and you can see why. They've got skilled guys that can spread you out. Malasevich at the 4 is an issue because he can drive it so well and shoot it. And their guards are obviously very, very capable. So, and then Hare did some of the most athletic things I've ever seen a center do in here. So I was proud of our guys to get away with a win in what was otherwise a pretty darn tough day for our program.
Coach, how difficult was it just to even think about playing a game today?
Well, unfortunately, this is the second time in my career that a parent has died before a game. The first time was Rob Walls's. Mother died right before we played against Green Bay, and I think what you learn is you don't spend a lot of time on basketball. You spend, hey, this is what happened. What can you do to be a supportive person? We do have a task at 4 o'clock that we need to try to do the best of our ability, and let's try to make each other proud with our effort, even though it's hard to really focus on that task. And that's hard. It's hard. These guys are really tight. They know each other's parents. They appreciate everything, all the support that they get from one another, and it's a really hard thing. And anytime for me, it's really hard because you've got a 21-year-old and his family that facing something they shouldn't face.
Rotnei and Rose, was it something you guys were thinking about out there? Was it tough to get out, and were you kind of playing for Eric in a sense?
Yeah, it's it's something that was definitely on my mind when we heard about it at pregame meal. Just feel for Am and his family, and I think all of us have texted him back and forth and let him know how we feel about it, and we just want to go out there and perform well and win this game for them as well.
Yeah, like you said, it was, of course, like you said, we learned that pregame, it was all on our mind, so we try to make sure we go out there and play hard for him and pick up where from where you would be at, so we try to make sure we play hard for him the whole game.
Brett, talk about the beginning of the second half. What went so well for Butler at that point?
Well, we actually played really well after they got a little bit of a lead in the first half. The difference between the second half beginning and the first half ending was we made shots in the paint that we weren't making at the end of the first. I think we missed 6 straight shots in the paint at the end of the first half, which they have a lot to do with that. I mean, they're long, Hare's long especially, and challenges shots, but we finished at the rim better, and that ultimately was helped us get on that little run. But that's a hard team to hold off because of their ability to shoot threes at multiple positions. When they play really well, and you look at it, even though when they play Ohio State and it's a 10-point game at the end of the game, teams like that, they're always shooting it pretty well. And so when they start making shots, it's hard. It's hard.
Coach, how do you assess your team's turnover issues? Is it as big of an issue to you as it is to other people?
No. Yeah, it's something to work on, and we've got to just keep getting better at it. But we've won a bunch of games where we haven't turned it over as much, but we've played against the most challenging teams you can play against. And so we know what we have to work on. We know how to work on it. We can get better with it. I think one of the things about turning it over some is you're also being aggressive in attacking. That was more of how we turned it over today than, say, Thursday when we were on our heels. We turned it over because we were on our heels. Different kinds of turnovers, in my opinion, today. A little bit at the end. We turned it over a few times at the end. Kellen didn't catch the one and turned it over twice with the ball, but we'll be okay with that.
How do you kind of quell the way that teams are extending out on you again, the way St. Louis did and Rhode Island did?
Well, I think that's great. I think it's great. It opens up more space to work. So as long as we continue to work and continue to get better, just like anything else, if you get zoned a lot, you work against the zone until you're really good at attacking. If people sink on you a lot, you work against sunk defense until you're really good at attacking it. Just the way that a couple of teams have chosen to play us. Not everybody will. And so we'll just, we'll keep working on attack.
Rotnei, kind of segueing off that, I know you don't like to make turnovers, but I know you like to have the ball in your hands. Kind of, you still feel like you're I don't know, kind of evolving and growing into a ball handling, playmaking point guard?
I just think a lot of the turnovers that I made today were over not being aggressive, thinking too much. The last couple of games, I just made careless mistakes with the ball. You know, getting into guys in the wrong spots. You know, just getting in the air some and making passes. I just got to improve on that. Just get better at that and just be smarter when I have the ball in my hands.
Rotnei, what does Kellen need to do when he's having a game where he's not getting looks? He always has somebody in his face. What's he need to do to still contribute to this team?
Just keep shooting it. You know, he's an unbelievable shooter, and he works really well off the ball, and you know, he does a lot of things for us. He's smart defensively too. He helps us out on the other side of the floor. You know, when I'm out there, I just tell him to keep shooting it, you know, just being aggressive.
Rotnei, talk a little bit about what you saw as the offensive point guard in that second half, where you could attack and how you could get this team moving.
You know, our whole thing was we were trying to, you know, be aggressive out of the gate. You know, like we've talked about, St. Louis put us back on our heels, and you know, if we were going to make mistakes, we wanted to make mistakes actually attacking and being aggressive with the ball and then trying to execute. So, you know, we just tried to be aggressive and get the ball in spots that we wanted to have it, and we did that well in the first part of the second half.
Coach, talk about your game plan to defend Mumford and also Rose. Talk about how it was to defend against him.
Well, he's very good, and I thought our guys did a pretty darn good job on it the whole game. And I thought at the end of the game he didn't have the same pop after he twisted his ankle. I thought he was limping a little bit, didn't raise up on his shots like I'd seen him. But then Powell did some really good things, and other guys as well. But we put Barlow on him to start, and Barlow did a great job with him. But there was a reason why Barlow was sitting next to us at the end of the game, because he fouled, and so he had to, you know, and then you switch Rose over, and Rose played him and played him well. We played Chase on him some, and these guys switched some ball screens. Everybody saw bits and pieces of it, but I thought Barlow and Rose did the majority of the work and did it well.
Coach Hurley mentioned you guys switching people in and out so much, and it's sort of changed, you know, the complexion a little bit. I mean, is that part of the strategy, kind of move people in and out and give them different looks defensively?
Well, I thought we, you know, our rotation was a little bit unique today because Eric wasn't here, obviously, and so you, with Cam and Kyle and Andrew, you had a few different ways to switch your defenses. So at the end, we were switching everything, and we were smaller, but Cam is so mobile that that's not a problem for Cam, and so that's something that we like to do. I think sometimes we've gone to that in the past where we played Chase or Rose at the 4 and then play a guy like Cam at the 5 so we can switch everything. And yeah, we'd like to do that, especially defensively. But you know, just like everybody else, when you're missing a guy, it takes me a little bit of time to get used to the rotation of the game and who should be in and who should play together and those type of things.
Right. You suggested there's not maybe an enormous amount of improvement that can be made during the course of the season in free throw shooting. That's kind of the off season. That you guys are sort of belying that, because I mean, I don't know if that many people would have expected 24 out of 27 free throws by Butler.
Yeah, you know, and I don't mean to slight an area of improvement or an area of focus, because we shoot them every day, we work on them hard every day, we spend a lot of time. Roosevelt works harder than anybody on them. That being said, I don't think at night about our free throws. It's never crossed my mind the night before a game whether or not we're going to make them. I take that as a, hey, you know, you don't sit there as a coach and say, hey, make your free throws. You know, it's just like you don't say, hey, don't turn it over. You know, figure out why and try to be the best you can be. And these guys put in enough work. I feel comfortable that it's going to go in. So I've never really lost sleep over that. I try to worry about the things I can control.
Brad, you come off a loss. You play a team that is a very good opponent today. What makes you the most proud about getting the job done today?
Well, we got, you know, get in at 2 or 2:30 in the morning on Friday morning. You can't do anything Friday physically. You have to watch some film and try to get better from film and walk through some things. And the whole time, you know, I knew what was going on with Eric and his dad. So I think the most proud I am is that these guys care about each other. You know, I don't. This result's nice, blah blah blah. But that's the best part about today.